Hello guys and welcome back to another YouTube video. Last week we saw something happen here in China, I believe. Yes, big wars happening and we will right into it. And we see the president of the United States, which has become like a dictatorship now, kind of like what Russia is right now. They claim that they are not a dictatorship, but they are. So we actually see them by somehow justifying that in Mexico there are Nazis who try to overthrow other nations. They justify a war on them. Right now, in this timeline, Trump isn't a president. He probably died. So whoever is the president now is the president. Makes sense. Makes sense. We say that the new president started a new movement that got a lot of track, the national movement of the United States, we can call it. So we see an invasion happen of Mexico. And also, I changed the invasion color to a little bit more darker, more rough, I believe. I don't know if you could call it that, but otherwise it will look like this, and now it looks like that. I like it more, so we will take that. So we see American troops enter Mexico. The morale is pretty low because some years earlier they won, but not by a massive war against Canada. You could almost say it's like the Winter War here in Finland and between the Soviet Union. So the morale is like, I mean, it's not very high. It's like at 80% or 75, which you would want it to be like at 100. So we see Baja California quickly getting overtaken by American forces, and also Americans pushing into Mexico mainland here. We also see a naval invasion happen from Florida to Cancun, where they land here and quickly take the peninsula. The Mexican government and military stages a counteroffensive here in the north, wanting to push into Texas, but they get stopped from the border and they get pushed back and quickly encircled and wiped out. American offensive starts again. In Baja California, we see American forces fully taking the peninsula. Bam. The forces in Cancun spreading out more, taking southern Mexico, and we see many Mexicans die. The United States has a superior army. I would claim that the power ranking here is that NATO. Wait, let me see. NATO has been more militaristic in this timeline, focused on the military. So if we put all of NATO into one country, they would be the number one military power. NATO first, India second, the United States third, and Russia fourth. We see more American troops pushing down into Mexico, and from the Cancun region they push into Mexico. I would say Mexico a bunch in this episode. And the Mexican government sues for peace. So let's take a look at the peace treaty. So these are the new borders of the United States. They add three more states here. One state around this big, another this big, and a third here in Baja California, making the states of the Union 54 states because this became a state. The last episode, no, or the episode before that, I believe it was. North Mexico gets incorporated into the United States of the America, while this part of Cancun becomes more of a integrated puppet of the United States. So that's the second Mexican-American War. Next up, we take a look at our favorite country, the West African Confederation, getting Liberia to join them, and Sierra Leone, I don't know how to pronounce it. So they grow here, and this country acts like the United States. It has multiple different states, like this one here. Let me just get better. This one here, like the different countries that join in states, and they all have a more central government, but they have different state governments also, like the United States of America. Here in Central Asia, We see all the countries here being part of the CSTO, but we see infighting between Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan. So we see Uzbekistan over some border disputes down here that ended up in the Turkmenistani lives being taken by Uzbeki border patrol. So we see a war happen here. And of course, the CSTO is like, what the wow, stop that, stop that. Russia tried to mediate the conflict, tries to stop, to strengthen the alliance, to end the war, because they don't want war, because it's their own faction. It's like if our timeline, France and Germany got into another war, that would be not very good for NATO. Anyway, we see more. Where is the capital of Uzbekistan? I don't really care. We see forces here uh, split Uzbekistan in two and quickly take over this northwestern part of the country, and they quickly sweep through Uzbekistan. Different countries here gets worried, but after some time, they finally, by Russian mediation, get to a peace treaty. So let's take a look at it. So we see this part goes to Uzbekistan, while this little island here, because I don't like this thing, my thing, it goes to Kazakhstan. We can do this. I don't like the line being drawn through here. So we take that, and this part goes to, you guessed it, Turkmenistan. Any Turkmenistan fans out there? Yeah, I know I have many of them. So we see that war getting solved. But we also see Turkmenistan getting kicked out of the CSTO. I will change this after the episode. Anyway, in Germany, we see the fascist party. I believe I established in the Rhineland, or did I take out of the video? Anyway, there's the fascist party in the Rhineland is getting more influence. If we look at the, but we can you do this? We take up this and we do like this. We see the AFD. The AFD holds like T states in Germany and Austria, while the fascist movement holds this. The Christian Democrats holds Vienna, this and this, while the Social Democrats holds, oh shit, did I not? These are the new colors of the fascist party. And the Social Democrat Party holds these states. But we also see, like, this state becoming more of this color state of the fascists. So they start to gain movement. Here in Africa, in Ethiopia, we see Ethiopia with its puppet invade Kenya. Oh shit, wrong color. Wrong color. Kenya, you get some, they just want land. They want to establish an empire. There's no alliance down here. No, not after the Great African War. But we see Ethiopian forces taking the country swiftly, and they swiftly take the country, and they swiftly capitulate them. Not it lasted like a month, this war. So yeah, peace treaty. So we see this part going to Ethiopia, and the rest of Kenya becoming a Ethiopian puppet state. Final borders of this conflict. So we can put this color here. Red is Ethiopia, and a bit more darker, more null, more boring red is puppet states. Hungary has also had elections now, and they actually, before the Germans, established a fascist regime. So we see fascist Hungary claiming to reclaim the lands that we lost during the Great War. A greater Hungary means a greater world, blah, 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 blah. Invade Croatia to get land because they want. So we see Hungarian forces storming the country, but they get Is Zagreb is like here or something? I don't know where Zagreb is, but it gets stopped at uh, Zagreb and hold the line. We also see Serbia join this conflict on Croatia's side because they want to and they don't like Hungary in this timeline. I don't know what if they do in this. So we see Serbian forces enter Hungary, but then we see in Bosnia, seeing this war happen, the Serbian population of the country, no, fear, wrong color, of the country rise up to start a revolution, which the Croats also invade to help the Serbians because they helped them in this war. So we see the Hungarians sending over supplies to the Bosnians, and we also see Romania during this war because they declared war on Hungary, and NATO doesn't get called in. And we also see Bulgaria during this war. So because they wanted land from Romania and they don't like Serbia, at least in this timeline. So we see Bosnia quickly getting swept, and Romanian troops enter Hungary, and the Croats start to push out the Hungarians and actually a little bit into Hungary. In Bulgaria region, we see Bulgarians pushing into this part that once was Bulgarian and start pushing into Serbia. Kosovo joins this war, which means that which also brings in Albania because they want to help Kosovo, and we see Hungarian forces threaten Bucharest. So we see forces from Hungary that getting withdrawn and replaced to the Bulgarian front, and we see Hungarians making a counteroffensive down here, and we see Bucharest falling to Bulgarian forces. The country has a more of a socialist revolution starting to pop up because they don't want war. So we see different states standing up against the government, and they actually establish a new government that works with the Bulgarians. So we can change the colors here, and the country quickly surrenders. Bam, and we see more forces go into Serbia. Hungary gets in its military into more of a morale boost, pushes back Serbia and Croatia, and back into Croatia and into Serbia. Kosovo, uh, realizing like, oh shit, we may not win this war, leaves with Albania. Serbia feels betrayed, so they invade Kosovo, which brings in Albania. Makes sense. So they start to invade Kosovo. Their alliance is now broken. But we see Bulgarian forces start to more liberate this part, and they quickly push into Serbia and Croatia, and they start to liberate the Bosnian government. And we see Serbia suing for peace, and Croatia can see writing off on the wall, and they want peace to maybe have some land left after the peace treaty, but the Hungarians and Bulgarians refuses. So we see the whole country surrender, getting overrun. So let's take a look at this. Oh, the wars in this video is kind of fast. I believe because the wars in the other video took time to record, and it was a pain in the ass to edit them because it was late at night, or not maybe not that late, but I was bored and I wanted video to get over with. Yes, anyway, let's take a look at the peace treaty. These are the new borders of the Balkans. No, the wrong color. We see Hungary getting this. So you get this part of Croatia, northern Serbia, and Dracula land. This little part goes to Bosnia, and wait, didn't I? And because they were occupied by Serbians, also they get this land. So this is New Bosnia. Kosovo and Albania unite into one country, forming Greater Albania. Bulgaria gets this part of, that's the name, Serbia, and this part of Romania. The Romanians have a new government, a socialist government. Serbia is just humiliated. Bosnia is happy, and we see great. We see great. We see Hungary is almost at what they wanted. They also need Slovakia and this part of Ukraine, which Slovakia is in NATO. I realize now that Bulgaria was in NATO, but we say that they had beef with Romania since before this war happened. But we in here see Bulgaria gets kicked out of NATO because they joined the war. The new Romanian government also gets kicked out because they are socialist. You see this faction getting dismantled in Oceania, in Asia. I mean, we see Malaysia having a kind of socialist also a socialist. That's Singapore. Socialist revolution, which spans the entire country. We see them rise up here in the beginning, starting to move down and down here. This island also. In this part of Malaysia, we also see socialists rising up, and we see them going down into Malaysia from here, and also into Brunei, I believe they are called. This part of Malaysia gets overrun, and also this part. So quick socialist revolutions happen here, and they also take Brunei into their country. So we have one, two, three more socialist communist nations in this world, as I can recall. Maybe one more somewhere. No, I don't think so. We see a conflict happen here in Morocco and the West African territories, or what they are called. We see Morocco invade them to reclaim them, which it's like desert warfare down here, so it takes a month to get this. They push down here, but we see. Oh wait, no, never mind. And they also it take a long time, but nothing really happens, and the breakaway thingamafingers here quickly, or not quickly, it takes like a year, but they surrender, and Morocco looks like this now. We see a new government, not government, a new nation forming down here between Guatemala, El Salvador, and Horon, forming more of a Central Asian, Central American nation. We we also see a South African war between Namibia and South Africa. On the sides of Namibia, we have this country, which is called Zimbabwe. Or is this Zimbabwe? Is this Botswana? I think this is Botswana. This country, this joins the South Africans. Mozambique joins South Africa, and this country joins Zambia. So not Zambia, it's Namibia. So it's Namibia and PALS and Co. Going into South Africa. Guys, let me explain. My headset died during the filming of this video, so I will recap what happened after this. So Namibia with PALS focused on Mozambique here. I can fill it in. Why every tool gone? So Mozambique focused on Namibia here. Not they focused on Morocco here. Mozambique here invaded more, and Madagascar joined the war on the side of Namibia. And together with Namibia's navy, the naval invaded this area. Mozambique surrendered, and they focused on South Africa, which they surrendered, and they got these lands you see here. Uh, what the fuck? They got these lines you see here. Let me just fix this. Bam. And the countries that were left united into a singular country. Which did I make another conflict? There were conflict down here between Colombia and Peru. Not Colombia, Ecuador, and Peru. Peru and Colombia were on the same side, defeating Ecuador easily. And Suriname took French Guyana after their independence. Also, Afghanistan took the parts of Pakistan that were left. And I think that's it. Also, this West African Confederation expanded into the country here. And we could see America forming its own faction with Colombia, the puppet down here, and Suriname. The Central African Alliance also formed between these nations. And that was it. We also saw the fascists gaining more power in Germany, like they own these states here. I can show, like they have these states, while the AFD have, oh shit, why have these states, something like this. So the fascists gain more and more power in Germany, and I think that's it. We also saw a United Nations form between all these countries. There were United Nations, but these are more closer. I forgot to include the United Nations tab in the first video, so I will include it here. Which these are the countries that's not in it. Malaysia had a revolution, so they're not in it because they haven't applied or something. I don't know. I just wanted some countries to not be in it. Afghanistan invaded Pakistan, so they didn't get. These guys don't get. These guys invaded someone. These guys lost and formed a new nation. They haven't applied, and these guys invaded someone. Colombia gets to stay because they're friends with America, and America is like they rule the United Nations. Like there's some veto power in it. There's America, all of NATO, Russia, India. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So if any of them veto a law or a new thingy don't gets passed. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe and like and comment, and I'll see you next video. And I'll see you in the next video. Have a good day and bye bye.